Rock and roll's full of myths. Most of it bullshit. Here is a story that one day may be the stuff of legend. Care, the lead singer. She's 20 years old. She's got a rock and roll band called Mannequin. Been in and out of rehab for the hard stuff. Under extreme pressure about her new album. She's either gonna be big or she's gonna be dead. Yeah. Mr. Butterscotch, the manager of Mannequin. He only asks for people to come up north when there's something seriously amiss.
Hey, I've got a studio on hold in LA. Tony!
Good.
Tony! Did you check out that Coke song?
Yeah.
All right, well, I want you to check it out.
Yeah.
If you guys are feeling it, I got a studio on lock for 2 days in LA.
Okay.
I assume they were there to talk about the new album, hear the demos, before hitting the road to Boston. Something was obviously not very right. Butterscotch was fishing.
It's a pretty cheesy song that we need to like, fix.
Oh, it is, but it's catchy as fuck, and it's an international campaign, right?
Yeah.
And if
Does it say our name anywhere?
That's the thing, we can't dirty it up too much.
EMI New York called McCarty and said, we want Mannequin to take a shot at this thing. But again, I don't want to unless you guys are feeling it.
Yeah.
If you're feeling it,
I'm just feeling the idea of making a bunch of money out of it.
That's-
Yeah, I'm feeling the idea of making some money.
I'm Mr. Butterscotch. I manage Mannequin. And that's kind of what I do. I'm the business, they're the show.
And what are your expectations for the tour?
We're gonna show up, play the people, kill them, take no prisoners, ever. Leave our mark, make those towns a grease spot, and get the hell home.
Mr. Butterscotch loves to hear his bands rehearse. It's his way of checking in with them. No visit's complete without a long session. This one was no exception. It's like money to his ears.
because, as I understand it, I was looking to hear some stuff, and I kept saying, just email me the demos, email me the demos, email me the demos, and it never happened. There was an earthquake, a flood, an old friend came in from out of town, every fucking excuse in the book. As I understand it, on the way up here, she threw them out. She threw them out. All I know is that I don't have them, I can't hear them. So when my phone rings from all the people who gave us a shit ton of money, right, now I'm dancing, and I don't like to dance.
Mr. Butterscotch has his priorities, which are like they're the same as mine. Like I hire him to keep me in line, and we have our careers are one and the same. Like if I'm doing well, he's doing well, and the opposite. If I'm doing shitty, he's doing shitty, and we need hit songs. So he's gonna push me to write those, to feed his kids and do his thing, and I needed to feed my own self and band. So there's like a lot riding on just these stupid little 3-minute things. But yeah, he needs a record, and I need a record, and everyone needs a record, and everyone has contractual, constrictions and everything else. So there needs to be songs. There's no band, like there's no touring, there's no nothing.
What do you think she needs to write to be happy with the demos for the new record?
We're trying to find that out.
Yeah.
We're trying to find that out. I suggested, isolation.
Yeah.
Is it here or is it LA? Yeah. Do I need to put her in the middle of the concrete jungle, or do I need to put her in the middle of the fucking gulag? I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But once that gets determined, we'll know. I got to hear what's going on. Yeah. And I'm sitting up here, and I'm just, she's my piñata, and I want to break that thing open and figure out what's inside, and without anything recorded, I don't know.
We're probably one of the strongest bands I know, I know that those guys would never talk shit about me, and just as I would never talk shit about them, it's kind of like we all just, we're like this unit, and anything that's outside of that unit, can die, basically,
Care plays guitar and sings. Tony's on bass. Pat, who also goes by the name of Ghost Wolf, plays drums. They're very much a family. Milo the dog is also part of that family. The story goes that Milo the dog, Tony's dog, introduced Care and Tony at an all-ages show that Care was playing when she was 17. Milo now goes pretty much everywhere with the band.
Bucky, can you tell us a little bit more about Tony and Care?
Wow. I can't tell you the exact nature of the relationship. Tony and Care are a couple. Can't tell exactly. Well, Who cares?
It's curious.
Uh-huh.
This is the internet hole. This is where I spend most of my time researching the JFK assassination or whatever. One of the major things that the internet has done is that there's no longer a local scene, you know, for bands, where you don't really need to have that anymore. It's not like there are, you know, 20 bands in your city, you know all the bands, you know, you go to their shows and you do the whole thing, and you like all those bands, even though they're kind of different. It's sort of just like rooting for the home team, you know, like you go and do that. And I think what the whole like MySpace and all that stuff has done, where you can, you know, you link to other bands that sound like the band that you're listening to. So yeah, so it doesn't really matter where they're from, and what it kind of becomes is it's more genre specific instead of community specific, which I think it's good and it's bad, you know. It's cool that people can really get into their thing and really dive in and find these amazing bands that, you know, 30 years ago, I don't know how people found independent bands. Like, I have no idea how Metallica got famous without radio play.
Yeah.
Like, that blows me away. It's actually better to be on the road than to be home, because being at home, it's not like we have jobs or anything at this point. So you're pretty much living on whatever you made on the road, you know, whether it's a couple bucks in merch or any leftover per diems you have, you know. I guess, you know, a lot of times venues and whatever, they'll supply dinners, and they supply, you know, like some beers and stuff like that. So it makes it a little easier to get by that way.
A rider for like bigger tours that we'll do with like bigger bands, we can ask for a little more stuff that we need. Not that we get anything anyway, but so like all the whiskey that we wouldn't get on a rider for the smaller shows, I keep in there.
Yeah, we're
Save
still.
them.
we're
Save
just-
it for the smaller shows.
Yeah.
Yeah, because as an opening band, we're lucky. You know, we're lucky to get anything at all. Really, like we've watched the progression from our first tour up to this one, and it's gone from water to water and a case of beer. But still no seating. You always silly. If you're in an arena, it's a hockey bench.
And we don't have like a big tour bus, so like we have to sleep in there. Like usually the other bands are like in the dressing room, really not at all. They're just in their tour bus sleeping or watching TV or whatever they want to do, right?
Yeah.
So we have a band, so we kind of need to sleep in that dressing room.
Yeah.
So it's funny because like the only people that really need to sleep around will never get anything because we're a wee little band.
They're lovely people, you know, clever, they're talented musicians. Kara had only ever written in a strange little room with Tony and Milo, her security blanket. With Butterscotch hounding them to write, this was undue pressure on our rock and roll family. Do you understand? I forget sometimes how young they are. You know, they do things like they visit their parents before heading out on tour, borrowing money and all that. They're lucky they have parents that give a shit. These are the unsung heroes of rock and roll, you understand? I'm serious. The mothers and the fathers and the sisters. What's most important about Die Mannequin is their ability to move between worlds and be comfortable, right? The North fucking Pole. Suburban cookouts, motel living, debutante parties, opening for Guns N' Roses, the Deftones. Try mixing all those in a lifestyle cocktail. You know what I'm saying?
Because my house was right by the mall, and that's where everyone hangs out when you grow up in the suburbs, it wasn't uncommon for us to be, you know, all sitting at the mall or all meeting up at the mall to go to practice, and then there'd be another 20 people with us. You know, everybody's girlfriends and other friends and, you know, random hangers-on and whatever to come back to the house with us.
band Lip. It was recorded live at the Elmo on September 11th in 1999.
We gotta start taking care of.
I'll just go tell the guys, and we can come back next week, or we can come back, whenever you guys are ready. It's totally cool. So, yeah, we gotta wrap things up. We can't shoot today. So Milo passed away. So I don't know, feeling sick last night, and so we gotta go, and it's not good. So I just grab the guys, and we'll go and call it a day, and come back when they're ready for us.
Okay, all right, we should wrap it up.
So.
Yeah.
I'm deaf and dying. I don't know, Bryce. We all get our share. People, dogs, plants, grannies, drummers. It's always tough. Suddenly writing the new album doesn't seem all that important when you lose your best friend. Even if he's a dog. Tony has a knack for keeping it all together, for loyalty, compassion. And, the dinner, his goodbye dinner in honor of Milo the dog, before they set off on that tour. That was sweet. Those are the necessary moments in life. The real rock and roll moments.
That was the day after we were done with you guys. Went for a typical walk. Came back and he just lied down like usual. But within a few hours, something was amiss. He wasn't taking treats. He'll take any treat anytime, So that's immediately something weird. We had KFC at one point, which you could say is his favorite thing. And he wouldn't take that. Kara was really pushing for calling a bet, which, nothing is free. You can never just get any free advice from a vet. I woke up to Kara saying, Milo's not moving. He's not moving. She's shaking me. He's not moving. And I woke up and screamed Milo, Milo like a bunch of times because his eyes were open. I've now learned that when animals die, their eyes, even if they're sleeping, their eyes pop open. It was a really heavy moment, We both kind of cried and screamed and held each other for a bit. But after that, it was time to move on, kind of like, not move on, but start taking care of what we need to take care of. I think we've dealt with it pretty well. We worshipped him, for lack of a better word, He was really special. Yeah.
Member of the family.
Yeah, very much so. Just over 10 years ago, I got into drugs, some hard drugs, pretty bad. Went to rehab, decided to go to school after that in Peterborough, and that's when I got him. My goal in finding it, just any dog, was I'm going to give myself responsibility, something that I need to take care of every day, that I need to be there for, so I have a lot less time to be bored, a lot less time to fuck up. And he turned out to be, you know, much more than just that. Over the years, you know, that wasn't my first time getting off of drugs. In the 10 years that he was with me, there were numerous times, you know, upon meeting care, we went through our ups and downs as well. And Milo was always there. Never suffered because of it, but witnessed it and helped pick us up each time, kind of thing, you know. Yeah, there was something that he was sent for, that he accomplished. Our problems stem from boredom and loneliness and you know, lack of direction. And right now we have a direction, and we have a place that we need to go, that we're going, and he's set us free.
So, you know, the band is a family. Everybody has their function kind of thing, right?
Oh, for sure.
And if that's that, then what would, girl just said, okay, she's the singer, guitar player, what would her function be in that kind of, you know, triangle?
I think, like, she's kind of in the middle, you know, where she wants everything to go smoothly and be okay, but she's really good at speaking her mind and kind of saying what she feels, you know.
If I were to look at her and compare her to someone, I would say Iggy Pop for some reason. There's that non-caring sense of great style. Like, looks like somebody put hours into that, but really it was for lack of money, lack of better selection, you know.
She's very, very like strong-willed and very, you know, determined, because ultimately, at the end of the day, the band it's her vision. Like, they're her songs, and so she takes it very seriously, and it's like you know, it's closer to her than it could ever be to us, because they're her words and it's her experience that she's talking about, right?
She's battled different forces in her life, including herself, from an early age, and she's gotten through it and come out on top every time. I think that's purely just by her determination. She's, you know, weathered many a storm, and is doing great, and has really actually proven herself. You know, you could go back a few years, and there would be many who think that she's just a mess, and she looks like she's on drugs, and at one point she was, you know. But those same people right now are just amazed at what she's pulling off right now. And the one thing they're not saying is, holy shit, she kind of looks the same.
Meeting her is like having sex and skipping the foreplay. It's like, it is really intense right from hello, you know? And then when you see there's that impending danger, because you don't know whether she's gonna come at you. You know, it kind of reminds me of a gentler, more female Gigi Allen in a way. You know, the only, you know, safe place to be is behind her.
Yeah, people are attracted to that kind of danger.
Goddamn right they are. Goddamn right they are. I know I am. And I'm the dude that's got to pay all the lawsuits.
When she goes out in the crowd, the guys are just waiting with open everything, open hands, and someone grabbed her ass, and while she's playing, she turned around and said, "Who did that?" And this guy was like, it was me. He was dying for the attention. Kicked him in the nuts, spit in his face, then slapped him across the face. After the show, he was the first guy coming to get an autograph and a CD, you know?
Keep the faith, believe in your own talent. Shut out the noise. All the voices asking her for a next album, demanding songs, demos. Forget that. Just carry on. Perfect yourself as a musician and go according to your own schedule. always a crapshoot in America. Zeppelin went there, crappy reviews, no airplay, the hardcores, Black Flag. Those were the good old days. They paved the way. Now it's just winter in America. Land of the doomed and the lost.
Is that okay? Can I not get in the head?
You want to do it
With
again?
a stick? I get it every time though. I tried to do it last time too.
Yeah. She's got it. You know, a swagger. She's smart. She's beautiful. She plays guitar like a motherfucker. She's got the whole package. She's lucky to have two fellas in a band that are top. They're killer musicians, but they're also locked into a solid gang mentality with care. You fuck with one, you fuck with us all. Well, as far as I know, she grew up in the suburbs of Toronto, Canada. There's a story about her when she was about 12 or 13. Her best mate tried to commit suicide, and Care was somehow held accountable by the coppers. It seemed that was a big turnaround life thing for her.
Yeah, the cops just blamed it on like music, and it was right around the Columbine, I think, stuff, and where everyone was blaming just like music and bands, and they actually somehow like banned me from music somehow. It was weird. They told my parents like it was like an order to take away all my music, all my CDs, because that was the problem, and rip down all the posters that I was allowed to put up, and take away all the band shirts and all poetry, all art, anything art was gone, right, out of there. So they started the gutting of my room, I remember, like my mom and my sister.
Like the cops, this is their...
Their wishes to my parents, yeah, they told them to follow through with it.
Well, she became a bit of an outlaw at the age of 12. The story goes is that she ran away from home for the first time that summer, and she spent weeks camping by the river, breaking into houses for beer and food, practicing, singing, writing songs, learning to play the guitar.
My old house was down there, and I could walk. I remember walking like probably a couple of kilometers each way, like for a long time, and coming back, like right in the creek, just like camped out. That's my probably only camping experience in the outdoors whatsoever. But since I was 16, I left home, so I probably haven't been here since. So it's been a long time.
Hey, this is Kara, and I don't want to talk to you right now, so I potentially let it go to voicemail.
Hey, baby, it's me. Hey, I wanted to get with you. Now, I know you've been having phone troubles of late and like not answering. That's okay, right? I needed to get with you. We need to really have the discussion about the new record. And I know, girl, I know that writing out there, it must suck balls. I know I know the deal, right? I wish we could budget you for your own room. However, that's not going to be an issue at this point. So we need to figure this out. All I know is the label, they want to send our boy out there to basically ride herd and take the temperature of the writing situation, which I can't really help with. You know, that's got to happen. We got to appease who we need to appease. However, I know you've got some ideas, and I wanted to lay something on you real quick if I can. And basically, it's from the doctor, from Hunter S. Thompson. And there's one quote in the book that I was reading, and check this shit out. I love the wild power of the language and the purity of the madness that governs it and makes it music. I have no fucking idea what it means, but maybe you do. All I know, girl, is this, is we've got to, I gotta hear something, and I gotta hear it soon. If we want this shit out, label doesn't want to put it out in fourth quarter, so we need to get bumping, mama. And I know we got a ton of work to do.
I'd say the biggest pressure for Die Mannequin on this tour, the first American tour, was writing the new record. The pressure was pretty much squarely on Care. She's the main songwriter, right? The road's not the place to write. If you're gonna write anything of true value, it comes to what drives you. What's inside, what haunts you, what inspires you. On the road, you're always trying to get somewhere. And you never arrive at that place.
Is it neuroses? Maybe. You know, is it an undaunting passion for rocking out? Could be. Is it fear-based somehow? You know, it's like, for some reason, some of us, you know, our heads want to put our asses in a hole in the ground and we can't figure out why, you know? I think it's like that, where maybe she doesn't know why. She does what she does, but she's got to do it, you know? I don't know. I'm not a psychologist or anything like that. I don't know.
Sense that immediately when they see you and hear the band.
That's it, you know, and it's not hairspray. It's just, this is as true as I think it can be, you know, because, I don't know, we're lazy and, you know, we're not that smart, so we're not trying to sell you. That's who makes it. We're just putting it out there, right? So if I can have this band make a living, eventually doing this trade, what else matters? You know, what else matters? That's it. That's all we're trying to do. If we can do that, then everybody will line up, because then they don't have to do as much work, or they can take it and they can blow it up and they can go to radio and do all that real expensive, you know, payola stuff. They can worry about all that nonsense, because I don't know. I don't want to know how that shit works. I don't care, right? I just need to make sure that my band gets into the States safely with the tools they need to kill them.
Oh, it's so cozy.
Good breakfast coffees.
Yeah. Welcome to Boston.
Oh yeah. Actually, yep. PBS, CBS,
Discovery
NBS.
Channel's a big one.
Oh, that's nice.
So bar with milk and meat. Home sweet home. Tolerance never stopped being exciting. It's really true.
How do you write a song? Good question, Bryce. Well, often it's sketched out with guitar riffs. Usually, in my experience, it's less pen to paper, more just getting on with it, picking up an axe, figuring it out. The lyrics will come by themselves, or you refer to old notes, the little black book.
probably only tricky because we're poor. It's not always about money, but really, we don't have like a tour bus. And usually if you have like a tour bus, you have some kind of like recording studio, like something really basic. When you're on the road for bands, they'll have something and they'll have a room. Like I don't even have a door I can shut. I mean, we all share one room too, so, I mean, I harp on Tony if he starts playing because it's guilting me because I have to, write on the road too. And then I can't ever tell someone to like shut up or stop playing music because it's like an asshole thing to do, even if I really, really, really need to, but.
Hey, 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 hey. Soldiers everywhere around me, prisoners that sound so, go ahead and drown me. Soldiers everywhere around me, prisoners that sound so, go ahead and drown me in your hair. Oh yeah, yeah, let's go. Yeah, there's not a better place I'd rather burn. 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 Yeah.
That's a look at the weather. Back to the newsroom. All right, Michael, it was amazing.
Where are we? Tell us where we are.
We are currently in Boston, Massachusetts. First show of our American tour. We're going to be out for pretty much a month, so we're kind of just getting our legs tonight, getting a couple drinks in us, a cup of chai tea.
So is there anything particular or anything special about the first gig in a long run? It's a pretty intense, month you have ahead of you.
Yeah, I think this gig is a little more special than other ones because, there's a bunch of people out to see us and, so that means a lot and that's really cool. And because it's such a long tour, I think we're all trying to just kind of get into the mindset.
Well, the schedule, usually we're driving into a venue, doing a sound check, doing the show, leaving that night to a hotel if we're lucky, sleeping for a couple hours, wake up, repeat. Or, after that show, we might drive for a bunch more hours, and then, as soon as you get out of that van, you want to kill yourself or fall asleep. So writing is kind of the last thing you really are inspired or moved to do.
The U.S. tour, I don't have many expectations at all. I think the best way to approach things is to have the least expectations, and you can't be disappointed that way.
It's make for you to sort of say what your hopes are for this tour across America.
Hopes for the tour across America. A lot of these places we've never been, so it's just, even if you're playing to one person or 100 people or whatever it is, 150 or 0, or a bartender, just getting someone to listen or get, to keep on with our massacre together. Yeah, simple.
And let's just see, I think there's any last questions.
So this one's dedicated to our buddy Milo.
Poor Milo. He's in a box in my bedroom at home.
All right, you're here in WKCM, New York City, here with Mannequin. All right, Los Angeles, I'm here with Mannequin playing at the...
Don't fuck up.
They recorded their first single at Martin's Cleaners in this little joint that Rollins set up.
I don't know, do you know that book by Henry Rollins, Get in the Van? Yeah. It's like his Black Flag Diaries. Yeah. And it's not that interesting if you go day to day. It's like I woke up, got wasted, you know, beat up a skinhead, and then we played a show. And it's like, wow, that's...
When they get into the songs and stuff like that, like, just being on that level, you see a lot of loyalty and just interest in the stuff that you wrote one time in your bedroom, whatever, you know,
It's like a good staple.
Yeah. And so it'd be cool, like, to one day have a story like that that is our story.
Town, it's called Lenexa, and it was just outside of Kansas City, I think. I don't know. About halfway through the set, Kara sometimes does this thing where she goes outside. She went out and like walked up on top of this car that was parked outside, and I guess it was the cover band who were going on after us. One of their guys.
Okay.
There's a line between entertainment and destruction, and you guys crossed it.
There seemed to be, you know, a great concern from Butterscotch, you know, writing the new record. Could you maybe talk a little bit about the pressures that you and the band are under?
January and February, two kids that they've never met.
Queens of Stone Age did the same thing. And Dave Grohl was playing drums.
So it ended up, Kara got arrested. Cops show up, you know, she's in cuffs and the whole thing.
Went to eat yesterday. And we like waited for them. I was like 15. It was a couple years ago or whatever. And they all came out. They all hung out, and they immediately like invited us backstage after their show later. I had to go home. I wasn't allowed to go out. That's why I left home. So I went back home, but my boyfriend at the time stayed, and it was just them.
I think that probably stuff like that, experiences like that probably encourage us to do the same and be, you know.
Well, it demystifies it, I guess, a bit. You go,
yeah.
Oh, these guys are nice
exactly.
people.
They're assholes.
Yeah. It seems to be the assumption with most people, and probably including ourselves, walking into meeting someone that is, you know, in a place of fame, whatever. Yeah, I think the assumption is that they are going to be an asshole, and then they have to work themselves down to a level of you know, humbleness, niceness, like for fans.
Right.
It's kind of weird. You know? You have to prove yourself. Look not an asshole, okay? But seems to be the way it is.